Hey, welcome back to Cine Recaps. Today, I'm going to walk you through an action-packed sci-fi adventure film released in 2018 called A.X.L. It's about a boy who discovers a top-secret military robot dog. Spoilers ahead, watch carefully. The movie starts with Miles Hill, an aspiring motocross racer who lives with his father Chuck. Miles dreams of becoming a professional racer, but his father thinks he should look beyond racing and toward a better future. Miles frequently disagrees with Chuck, arguing that he can't get into college. Their relationship is also strained after the death of Miles's mother. One day, Miles attends a race where he competes against Sam Fontaine, a rich kid who has all the best equipment thanks to his wealthy father. During the race, Miles's bike chain breaks and he loses.
I lost it in that last turn. We have a spare?
Yeah, buddy, it was a spare.
Feeling frustrated, Miles and Chuck approach Sam to ask for a spare chain since they can't afford one, but Sam's father is incredibly rude and refuses to help them. However, a girl named Sarah Reyes secretly steals the chain and gives it to Miles and Chuck.
This what you're looking for? I wasn't here.
They quickly fix the bike and prepare for the next race. This time, Miles manages to beat Sam and wins the race. Sam congratulates him and invites Miles to a party at his house that night. Chuck advises Miles to go, saying it will help him make connections in the world of motocross. That night, Miles goes to Sam's party and meets Sarah again. He discovers that Sarah lives with her mother, Johanna, who works as a housekeeper for Sam's family. Miles and Sarah spend time talking and getting to know each other. Miles is impressed by Sam's huge collection of expensive bikes and equipment, realizing how unfair it is that he can never compete on the same level without money. Meanwhile, at a tech company called Crane Systems, scientists Andrick and Randall are searching for a missing asset, a robotic dog called A.X.L, which stands for Attack, Exploration, and Logistics. The robot dog has escaped from their facility and is somewhere out in the desert. The next morning, Sam invites Miles to a private ranch area to practice riding. While Miles is distracted talking to Sam, Sam's friends secretly pour a purple liquid into Miles's fuel tank. Miles doesn't notice what happened and confidently goes out for a ride. Unfortunately, his motorcycle suddenly stops working mid-jump, causing him to have a terrible crash in the desert. To make matters worse, Sam and his friends filmed the entire accident on camera and then abandoned Miles in the middle of nowhere, leaving him with only a bag and a jug of fuel. Miles is left stranded, alone, and injured in the desert. When Miles tries to figure out what to do, he hears a noise coming from a nearby abandoned shipping container. Curious, he investigates and discovers A.X.L, the robotic dog hiding inside. At first, A.X.L views Miles as a threat. And attacks him with his red glowing eyes and weapon systems activated. Miles is terrified and tries to escape. However, Miles notices that A.X.L is badly damaged and appears to be in distress. Despite his fear, Miles returns to help the injured robot dog. As he approaches calmly, A.X.L scans him and realizes Miles is not a threat. The robot's eyes change from red to blue, indicating he recognizes Miles as friendly. A.X.L even displays a self-destruct countdown on his body, and in a moment of connection, Miles manages to stop the countdown and save A.X.L's life. A.X.L then connects to Miles's phone and sends him repair instructions. Miles works on fixing the damaged robot dog using the limited tools and supplies he has. As they spend time together, Miles becomes amazed at what he's found, a sophisticated military robot that seems almost alive.
All right.
Back at Crane Systems, Andrick and Randall are monitoring A.X.L's location through tracking systems. They watch as Miles interacts with A.X.L and are fascinated to see the robot bonding with a civilian. Andrick decides not to immediately retrieve A.X.L, instead wanting to observe how the robot interacts with a human test subject in natural conditions. Meanwhile, Sarah realizes what Sam did to Miles and goes looking for him. She eventually finds Miles in the desert along with A.X.L. At first, Sarah is completely freaked out by the robotic dog and screams in fear. A.X.L's defense systems activate, his eyes turning red as he prepares to attack this unknown person. However, Miles quickly tells A.X.L that Sarah is a friend.
He's still learning, you know?
Miles, it could have killed me.
Stay, okay?
And the robot immediately calms down. His eyes turn blue again, showing he understands and trusts Miles' judgment. Sarah is amazed and cautiously approaches A.X.L, slowly warming up to the incredible machine. Miles and Sarah decide to keep A.X.L hidden and spend the night in the desert area. They sit around a campfire and talk about their personal lives. Miles opens up about losing his mother, while Sarah shares that her father was absent from her life. During this time, they bond not just with each other, but also with A.X.L, who seems to respond to their emotions.
I have a little snack too.
At Crane Systems, Andrick and Randall continue watching through A.X.L's camera feed.
Let's go! Hey, Dad. Listen, I gotta talk to you. I couldn't even get my last thought.
The next day, Sarah starts drawing graffiti art on an abandoned wall, showing off her artistic skills. A.X.L watches her movements carefully and begins mimicking them with precision. This triggers something in A.X.L's programming, and suddenly a video starts playing from the robot's internal systems. The video is a presentation from Crane Systems explaining what A.X.L really is, a military weapon designed for attack, exploration, and logistics on the battlefield. The video shows that A.X.L was created as a killing machine meant to protect soldiers, but also to eliminate targets. Miles and Sarah are shocked and disturbed to learn the truth about what A.X.L was designed to do. However, Miles looks at A.X.L and tells the robot, "That's not what you really are." He refuses to see A.X.L as just a weapon, believing the robot has become something more. While Andrick sees when Miles discovers a special biometric key device that gives him control and administrative access to A.X.L. This pairing technology permanently bonds A.X.L to Miles, making him the robot's recognized owner. Around this time, Sarah's mother Johanna asks Sam where her daughter is, worried that Sarah hasn't been home. Sam uses the Find My iPhone feature to track Sarah's phone and discovers she's at the abandoned area with Miles. Feeling jealous and angry, Sam goes to confront them. He acts possessive towards Sarah, arguing with her as if she's betraying him by spending time with Miles. The argument escalates, and Sam tries to attack Miles. Before he can land a hit, A.X.L suddenly pounces on Sam, pinning him to the ground with his jaws dangerously close to Sam's face. The robot is ready to defend Miles from what he perceives as a threat. Sarah panics and tells Miles to get A.X.L off Sam immediately. Miles commands A.X.L to release him, and the robot obeys. Before letting Sam leave, Miles warns him to stay away from Sarah.
Let him go.
The asset obeyed the boy's directives perfectly.
You better run!
However, this only makes Sarah angry at Miles, because the confrontation creates problems between Sam's family and her own. Johanna could lose her job over this incident.
Just stay here and don't do anything stupid.
Miles tries to tell his father, Chuck, about A.X.L, wanting his advice on what to do. However, Chuck refuses to hear it, warning Miles that he shouldn't be keeping something that's dangerous and illegal. He tells Miles to get rid of whatever it is before they both get in serious trouble. While Miles and Sarah are at the house discussing what to do, Sam and his friends track down where A.X.L is hidden. Still angry about being humiliated, Sam decides to get revenge. He and his crew attack A.X.L with a flamethrower, burning the robot dog and severely damaging his systems. They film the entire attack and even live stream it, laughing as A.X.L's body gets scorched and his systems fail. The assault causes A.X.L to shut down completely, his body smoking and his systems offline. Miles and Sarah receive a notification on their phones about the attack and immediately run back to save A.X.L. When they arrive, they find the robot dog badly damaged, with burned armor plating and fried circuitry. Desperate to save their friend, Miles and Sarah take A.X.L to a workshop area where they have access to 3D printing equipment. They spend hours designing and printing replacement parts for A.X.L's damaged body and cables. Sarah uses her mechanical skills to carefully repair the complex systems, while Miles provides whatever help he can. Finally, after extensive repairs, A.X.L sends a message that he has been fixed, and his reboot sequence will complete in less than 3 hours. Miles and Sarah wait anxiously during the reboot, hoping they were successful in saving the robot. When A.X.L finally reboots and comes back online, his first action is to access his memory files from the attack. He replays the footage showing Sam's face and hears Sam saying where he's going next, another party. A.X.L's programming interprets this as a threat that must be eliminated, and he sets off to hunt down Sam. Miles and Sarah realize what's happening and chase after A.X.L. They follow the robot dog to a large outdoor party where Sam and his friends are celebrating. When A.X.L arrives at the party, chaos erupts as people see the massive robotic dog approaching. Partygoers scatter and scream in terror as A.X.L stalks through the area, his red eyes locked on Sam. The robot is in full combat mode, treating Sam as an enemy combatant that must be neutralized. Sam tries to defend himself with his flamethrower, but it runs out of fuel. A.X.L corners Sam and is about to attack him with lethal force. Just before A.X.L can seriously harm or kill Sam, Miles and Sarah arrive. He commands A.X.L to stop. Sarah also pleads with A.X.L to remember their friendship. However, before the situation can be fully resolved, a fleet of drones suddenly appears in the sky. The drones were sent by Andric, who has been monitoring everything and decided it's time to retrieve A.X.L. The drones attack A.X.L with electrical shocks, overwhelming the robot's systems and incapacitating him. Eventually, the drones successfully subdue A.X.L, and military-style operatives arrive to secure the robot. Both A.X.L and Miles and Sarah are captured and taken to the Crane Systems laboratory facility. At the facility, Miles and Sarah are separated. Andric confronts Miles, demanding that he hand over the biometric key that gives him control over A.X.L. Miles refuses, trying to explain to Andric that A.X.L isn't just a machine anymore. Andric dismisses Miles's argument completely, insisting that A.X.L is simply a weapon, a piece of military equipment worth millions of dollars. When Miles continues to refuse to give up the key, Andric takes more aggressive action. He has Sarah placed in a special containment area surrounded by laser grids that will harm her if she tries to escape. At the same time, he reprograms A.X.L to guard Sarah, hoping this will force Miles to cooperate. However, Sarah proves to be cleverer than Andric expected. While being held by the reprogrammed A.X.L, she starts creating graffiti art on the wall using the laser grid itself. A.X.L watches her movements and recognizes them from his memory files. The robot remembers Sarah, remembers their friendship. A.X.L's eyes change from red back to blue. Instead, he helps her escape. Sarah reunites with Miles, and together with A.X.L, they make their escape from the facility. However, their breakout coincides with the arrival of official military personnel. It turns out that Randall, Andric's colleague, had been secretly reporting everything to the military because he was horrified by Andric's unethical behavior and the danger posed by the experiments. The military officials arrive to seize A.X.L and arrest those responsible for the unauthorized testing. In the confusion, Miles and A.X.L make a run for it. With military drones and even a helicopter pursuing them through the desert. Miles and A.X.L share one final desperate chase through the desert landscape. The robot runs alongside Miles, both of them trying to evade capture. However, they both know they can't run forever. The drones are closing in, and A.X.L's location is constantly being tracked. In their final moments together, the robot looks at Miles with what can only be described as understanding and affection.
I said go! Go!
Then, the robot dog turns and runs off into the distance, away from Miles. Miles watches helplessly as A.X.L disappears over the horizon. A.X.L has activated his self-destruct sequence, choosing to destroy himself rather than be captured and potentially used as a weapon again, or studied like a machine without feelings. Moments later, there's a massive explosion. Miles is devastated by the loss of his friend. He and Sarah eventually leave the area together, both mourning A.X.L but also grateful for the time they had with him. Some time later, Miles and Sarah have moved forward with their lives. They're seen on a beach in a new location, apparently having left their old town behind. Miles receives a package from his father, Chuck. Inside the package is the biometric key to A.X.L's programming. Chuck must have found it and decided to send it to Miles. Curious, Miles activates the key device. To his and Sarah's amazement, the device lights up and receives a signal. Messages appear on their phones, communications that could only be coming from A.X.L. Miles and Sarah smile at each other, realizing that in some form, A.X.L is still alive. The movie ends with this hopeful revelation.